Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm out here at the shop, Azalea Creative Group, out here in Inman Park. Just got some work done, some ink, it's covered up. But before we get into the video, go check out my website. I got some stuff out there, new stuff happening, originals, 8.5 by 11. Whatever I've been drawing on Instagram, you can go purchase it. Also, get ready for some stuff happening on my Patreon. Go sign up, go subscribe. Only $1 a month. I'll do like 2 or 3 live drawings. If you sign up, that's the only way you can get the link to see me live draw. You can ask me anything about art, about life, whatever you want. I'll do that probably starting in October. I'll definitely let you guys know. The video today we're going to do, I think I was drawing BlackPanther and it's fan art. So talk to you about fan art, some of the do's and don'ts, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And yeah, let's get into the video. Peace. Okay, so what is up, y'all? Good to be back in the seat, in the saddle, doing what I love to do, which is draw. So, I am drawing the Black Panther. Yeah. So, let's talk a little bit about maybe how I get the pose and all that good stuff as I'm actually doing some fan art. So fan art is a little different. Some people like it, some people don't. I think as artists we have all done fan art. A lot of people still do it. I love doing fan art. There's usually some rules and regulations that are unwritten for you to actually do fan art. And the big one, which I could think of, is don't steal it and say you done it, right? So I have people doing my art all the time. I do people's art, not all the time. I usually use reference, like real live people, or just some Google searches of models or something like that, or anatomy, something that I'm very passionate about. But when I do, excuse me, when I do fan art, one, I make sure I give credit. So for this Black Panther, I want to say Freeze done it. I can't fully say that, but somebody else done it, and I just really done it in my style. And when I do fan art, I usually am drawn to, no pun intended, but drawn to people who my style caters to. But yeah, I think for the number one is don't say you did that and you know you didn't do it. Number two, don't sell it. Like, don't create some fan art, or don't copy someone's work, or even do it in your own style, but you have totally, and you can tell you jack somebody's stuff. Don't be out there making prints and trying to make a living off of that. To me, that's just not cool. One, because you're lying and saying you did it, and two, it's not yours, you know. And it's fine if you want to use it for practicing, or, and as in this case for this Black Panther, I'll be giving it away, so I'm not like making any money off of it. I'm not anywhere near famous to where I'm making money off of YouTube. as I'm showing this video of me drawing it. So I'm not gaining anything out of this but maybe some practice. So, and I'm giving credit to the artist again, who I think is Brian Stelfreeze. If not, whoever, if you guys know who this artist is, yeah, that's who it is then. But nevertheless, those are two biggie things. Is you know, one, saying you did it, and then two, trying to make a coin off of it, and then just not giving the artist any credit who you did get it from. So don't be that person. So for me, and right now I'm looking at my battery, so you guys excuse me. I am looking at my battery, and I think I'm halfway into this video, and I hope I have enough juice to finish up this video with me talking. Yeah, so as far as the pencils and stuff that I'm using here, most of you guys kind of know, I'm using a Pentel Graph Gear 1000 with blue lead. I think it's a 07, and pretty much I just rough it out, you know. Even when I'm using the little Bandai figurines or whatever, I see shapes and just shape it out. It just flipped over to I finally started putting some hard lines down, and I kind of sped it up a little bit, time lapsing, but it's not fully time lapsed, I guess, or it's not as fast as I usually do it, because I want you to see, and I think later on in the video I even just left it normal, but I want you to see kind of what I'm doing, some of the strokes that I use. And I always get asked, you know, like, I want to draw better, is there any tips or anything? You just got to practice, one, but two, like, take your time. I see a lot of people, and I'm kind of all over the place, I'm sorry, but I'll get back to using shapes in the Bandai figures. But when it slows down the video excuse me, jeez, with normal speed, you will see my strokes are very deliberate and kind of long, if you will. Like they're nice, long, kind of, unless it doesn't call for it, but very long, precise, not etchy, sketchy, like really quick, like it's more like sorry for the sound effects, but that's the only way I could actually show you or have you listen to, so you can kind of get an understanding what I mean by slow and deliberate, or like just really quick, sketchy little. And I don't do sketchy lines, and most artists that I've seen that actually draw don't do those little sketchy lines, because although you're still trying to figure out, like, so at the beginning of the video, and that's what I'm saying, like with shapes and stuff like that. Man, excuse me, I just ate pizza, I'm sorry, y'all. But even when you're still trying to figure out, like, the shapes and the position and all that stuff you're trying to figure out at the beginning of the drawing, you still want some confident line work. And, you know, I'll do circles as warm-ups, or just scribbles or something, but they're long, deliberate strokes, not the quick little, because when you're doing a quick little ones, you're kind of almost telling yourself that you're not confident of where that line should be, if that makes sense. Like, you know, you're kind of just guessing. But when you start putting them nice long strokes, you're telling yourself that, hey, there's a line that's going to be right here, and you can go in a little further, you know, kind of just keep doing certain lines over and over, but there will be a line in there. But with the little sketch, you're still trying to figure out where you're going. So that's just what I've seen and what I've witnessed with other artists as well. And so here, yeah, I slowed it down a little bit. And if you look right here, I'm actually coloring and filling in a little bit to make the lines darker, but you'll see that I'm making deliberate strokes, and they're kind of long, if you will. I think if I can get the paper right. Yeah, so they're not like just a little etchy sketchy lines. They're kind of deliberate. I already know where I want this line to be. And so kind of like that right there, what I just done with that part, it's just, you know, nice, not, let's see. And yeah, I'm just kind of at this point, in my mind, the picture is just done already. The hardest part, whether I'm, you know, doing some fan art, looking at somebody else's stuff, or even if I'm just looking at reference or coming up with stuff in my head, the hardest part is positions and getting that idea out on my head and on paper. I can see it, but, you know, getting it down there and making it look like how it's in my head, it's two different things. And so once I'm comfortable with, I guess, the little sketches and stuff that has already come out, the rest of it's pretty easy. For me, is, you know, more just outlining and shading now. And yeah, that's about it. I'm still just kind of, you know, cruising through it, and again, it's more just outlining and shading that's taking place right now, and there's no method to what I do as far as if I'll finish like a leg or a head or a hand or something. I think that's where my style comes into play, is like I won't finish something. I just like unfinished work sometimes. Maybe a lot of times I look back at a lot of my work, and a lot of it is probably 85% drawn and done. But for me, it's done, you know. Maybe if I take it into like a digital aspect or a platform and digital color it or digital ink it, I may finally do the 100% done. There's a few that I've done out there on my website and all that, but when I'm sketching and drawing, it probably will never be totally like all fleshed out or something, unless I'm doing like something for a client. And I think I just done not too long ago a Scarlet Witch, in which I did finish everything. So it's not a lot when I finish everything, but I mean, if somebody paying for it, you know, you gotta finish it. But yeah, that's about it. Again, as always, you know, if you guys got questions, tips, whatever, just hit me up in the comments below. I will. We're getting ready to move, so I think when I get in my new place and I get set up in my little area, I'm going to start doing some live stuff, like a lot of live stuff on my Patreon, and you'll have to probably subscribe. Maybe I'll do it just for $1 or something. But with that, you'll be able to ask me anything. You'll be able to watch me draw, really see how the thought process of stuff that I'm doing. Again, you know, that's in my book, like, I subscribe to quite a few people, and it's valuable information. So feel free. I will let you guys know when that pops off, and it should be some good stuff. Check out my Patreon anyway, see if there's something out there you like. I've also started doing 8.5 by 11 originals. You can go get you some fresh artwork there. As always, thank you guys for hanging out. Be sure to share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Y'all know the deal. Peace out, y'all. I'll see you maybe in a week or so.